Hey guys, and welcome to a new series on my channel. Recently I asked you guys whether or not you'd be interested in seeing a palette a day series. A couple of you did say you'd be interested in seeing that series testing all of the indie brand eyeshadow palettes that I have in my collection, and these are brand new to me. I made it kind of a mission in my personal life to support more independent brands and get more into indie eyeshadow brands. So I have been hauling a bunch. I've got a bunch of different indie brand haul shadow videos on my channel. I think there's maybe 4 installments, and I will be trying to link those in the description box in case you guys are interested in checking them out and you haven't already. But I have 45 palettes that I have not tested, I have not put on my eyes. I have swatched most of these in the haul video, but in these videos I am going to fully swatch all of the palettes before we do one look. Not all of these palettes are still available. I noticed that after hauling them, some of them sell out. That's how indie brand shadows go. But in case some of them do come back in stock, and in case you guys have these palettes in your current collection and are interested in seeing a look, I am going to include all of the palettes that I hauled, regardless of whether or not they are still available. I am just picking the palettes that are really calling to me the day that I come up here to film these videos. And if you are interested in me doing a look with any one of those next, please leave it in the comments below. If you guys aren't currently subscribed, I'd love to see you subscribe. You guys, let's get into it. All right, welcome to day 3. Today I picked a palette that I've had for a while, and I think this is being discontinued, so it's like half off right now. I did just check their site this morning, but I had planned to film this video a couple of days ago and I noticed that it was 50% off, and I'm pretty sure I saw somewhere that they're discontinuing like a lot of their palettes. And I fell in love with this formula at the very beginning of this year, and I want to say that I picked up this palette and the Vintage Rose palette at the same time. This is the Christmas Morning palette from Give Me Glow Cosmetics. I'm trying to target the palettes that I feel like are on sale and or could potentially at some point be discontinued before they become discontinued, so I'm not featuring a discontinued palette, although there will be some of those in there. The color story here is Christmassy, green and red. You've got a brown and a neutral shade, so I feel like you could still take this palette on a more neutral day. I just love the Give Me Glow Cosmetics shimmer formula. So good. I have heard you guys say the same thing. They're rich and buttery and pigmented, and whoo, they're intense. They're intense. So I sat and looked at this palette for a little while this morning to kind of determine what look and what shimmer I wanted to use, and I definitely want to target the shades that are not super neutral so that we can do something with this palette that's a little bit more colorful. But let's swatch this palette out first. Gifts galore. Oh, I like just touching these shimmers. I have to say these are probably some of my favorite shimmer formulas that I've ever tested in all the indie brands. They're just thin, but they're rich, and I gotta turn this mirror, and like super pigmented, and they have like a great base and great light reflection. I don't have a single complaint about these. You can see that this is like a brown base with kind of a green reflective duochrome. I mean, super fun, very good quality. I never have any issues with the mattes either. So I'm really excited for this formula. So excited that I went and picked up another palette. I have the Haunted palette from them, which is another one on the list that is also half off now because I'm pretty sure it's being discontinued. Like, look how rich these mattes are. I do a lot of swatches. I have like something right here. I do a lot of swatches, and a lot of times with the mattes, they don't even carry all the way through. Like, these are intensely pigmented and they carry all the way through. They're rich, they're buttery, they're smooth. They're so good. That one was Milk and Cookies. This one is Stocking Stuffer. It's like silk. It's like I'm literally touching silk. I picked up a lot on that swatch, so oopsie. Look at all that. Oh my gosh. But it still remains smooth. Like, it's not that foiled chunky mess where when you start touching the shadow it makes this like huge indent. It still stays really, really smooth. I don't know how they do their shimmer formula, but goodness gracious, it tis be delightful. All right, this next one is a brown matte in Chimney. Like, so rich and so pigmented. That one's kind of like a smoky brown too. Like, you could really smoke that out in the outer corner is what I was thinking. Under the Tree, obviously a green matte shade. I like this tone of green. I'm really critical when it comes to like tones of green, I think, on me, because I don't like when they're too bright. You know, without being neon, they're just a little bit too bright. I just don't feel like they look super flattering, but I like tones of green that are just deeper and grungier. Ooh, and that one stained me. If I'm gonna use a green shade, like this is a green that I would like. Pajamas is a gold shimmer. I mean, you barely need to touch these shimmers. I took way too much. I could just keep swatching. These are crazy. All right, this next one is Cozy Fire, and it's a red matte. That was like the hardest feeling one, hardest pressed one in there. So this is like a little bit more of a desaturated shade as far as like the other ones, which are a little bit more pigmented, a little bit more saturated, I guess. That red one even stained me. This is a pressed pigment palette, by the way. Their Haunted palette is an actual eyeshadow palette, but this is pressed pigment. All right, Santa's Sleigh. I also love the layout of this. I really enjoy when I can see a look in the columns. I don't know if you guys are like that, but like columns is how I kind of see palettes. And I notice a lot of brands have been doing that lately, where you have the look kind of going down. And that to me, to the untrained eye, having a corresponding matte to shimmer just makes sense to me. I love that. But I also love in a palette when there's an even number of mattes to shimmers, if it's a smaller palette, and in this case it's an 8-pan. And there's the full color story, you guys. A lot of possibilities here. I feel like you could even go pretty neutral. But none of the shimmers are different textures. They're not different formulas. I notice in most of their palettes you'll get one duochrome, and the rest of the shimmers will just be nice and light reflective. I would say that they're more on the foiled side, but they're still a lot smoother than some. They're not super chunky and that they're kind of like falling apart. I actually think I might be able to get like all of these mattes on my eyes today. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take the red in the outer corner. I'm going to bring this into the crease. I'm gonna sweep this shade up above near the brow. I'm gonna use this shimmer here. Even though the Gifts Galore is a little bit of a deeper shade, it's just so flattering and kind of the funnish shimmer in here, although all of the shimmers are really good. These two, like the gold and the silver, oh, so good. The red was probably like the most kind of underwhelming for me. The least light reflecting, if you will, if that's even possible, I don't know. And I'll probably take maybe this one like more in the inner corner and then like Chimney on the lower lash line. So I honestly feel like I could use the majority of these shades to create a look today, and I wanted to do something just big and bold and lashes and all of that good stuff. Not something every day, maybe not even something super neutral. Let's go into Cozy Fire. I'm taking a really kind of dense, this is a small tapered brush from Sigma. It's the E45 brush. I don't even know if I've used this yet. I don't think I picked this up in a set. I do believe I picked this up like individually, like they were having a sale and I wanted to get this. I want to say that the Give Me Glow Cosmetics formula does work with synthetic brushes. I don't even remember what kind of brushes I used with the Vintage Rose palette. I'm not even sure, but I don't remember having any issues, like no blending issues whatsoever. I did set my eyes today. I just did it with the LYS Triple Fix Serum Concealer. I really do like that concealer to set my eyes because I never have issues like with shadows skipping on it, or like very rarely. I just want to do the red like right in this V. I get these visions in my mind of what I'm gonna end up doing. The sky is rumbling. And the looks don't always come out like that, but I still keep trying. I think sometimes it's funny that I feel that like 8-pans or 9-pan eyeshadows are more versatile than larger palettes, because I feel like sometimes larger palettes just try too hard and they give you shades that are so similar they're useless. I don't know, something about an 8-pan, 9-pan right now is just, I'm really enjoying. I can tell because this shade is a little bit on the desaturated side. It's coming out more pink, you know, not quite as red. All right, then I'm gonna take a Suzanne Johnson SE203 brush that is pretty dang fluffy. I'm going into the Under the Tree shade. Ooh, I hope this brush doesn't skip. Nope, it was skipping. Man, it totally skipped. Just patting it out. You know what? I swear I find greens skip so much more frequently on me. There must be something in like a green pigment that like causes it to skip, and then I can almost never blend it out. I have to like pat it. Yikes, that Suzanne Johnson one was just too fluffy. And now this green sucks. I think the shimmer is gonna go over it anyway, so I digress. No, it's still skipping. I'm gonna look like a Christmas tree after this. I am taking that red and I'm kind of going like really into the crease. I don't know how much that's gonna like stay or show up once I get the shimmer on the lid, but I want to try and blend the edge of this green just a little bit. All right, this is wild. Now I'm going back into Milk and Cookies, which is that tan shade. It's kind of a warm tone tan shade. Look, I can see like the lighting. The sun is like disappearing, and I'm going like all the way up to the crease to diffuse this green shade out is what I'm I'm trying to do here. It's supposed to be thunderstorming like on and off all day today. This green shade doesn't like diffuse out the greatest. Like the blend here is not blending. It's fine. It's just ultra pigmented. It's kind of a stickier shade, that green one, which is kind of what I found when it was like staining me a little bit. Man, it is getting dark in here, isn't it? All right, I'm trusting the process. I'm going into this Gifts Galore shade on my lid now, and I think I'm gonna kind of take it in the middle and then maybe bring that silver in is what I want to do. Oh, it's so pretty. I don't know if it's like really gonna shift though if I only do it in the middle, but that's what we're gonna do today. Spraying my brush, and I'm going into Santa's Sleigh, the silver shade. Nope. Wow. That didn't pick up at all. Okay, I'm now like going in with the dry brush. I just wiped it off. It was not picking up well with a wet brush. Like it wasn't even going onto the brush. All right, I just threw on a little bit of mascara. I'm gonna go in with my Moira 2-in-1 lash adhesive to throw on some lashes really quickly. Is it what I thought it was going to be? I think it's more green than anything. I think we're gonna have to add some red back into it. I just threw the ColourPop BFF cream gel liner in, I think this is in Swerve. Yeah, Swerve, which is just a matte black. I use these all the time. I tight lined with it and I threw it in the waterline. I'm pretty sure I want to make this a pretty smoky look. The only thing is like that red is like gone. There's just so much of it was kind of taken over. I was trying to keep it pretty low, but then I think it got like swallowed by the green. Anyway, I need to go finish my base makeup and then we can come back and we can do the lower lash line. Be right back. Oh my gosh, you guys, my eyes are so sensitive that every time I do like inner corner work, I end up like wiping it off just because it's too much. Kind of like bugs my eyes. Okay, I'm kind of bringing this red back in like a little bit higher because it just got swallowed by the green. I don't think you can really see it when my eyes are open. And I like to see the outer corner stuff when my eyes are open. Gosh, my eyes have so much sensitivity. I literally cannot do inner corner work. By the way, this this silver shade only picks up on a dry brush. It was not picking up for me on a wet brush at all. So I don't think these work super well. Look at the sun. The sun is completely gone. I don't think they work super well on a dampened brush. Now I want to go and do the lower lash line. And then I'm going to start with that brown shade out here in the outer corner. I think I'm going to go like pretty heavy. I just want it pretty smoky and pretty deep. Pretty smoky, pretty deep. Can you guys like hear the thunder in the camera? I wonder if you guys can hear that. Kinda kinda sounds like my stomach growling, but it's not. Oh, you guys, we've been trying to buy a house for my grandmother here in Florida and it is crazy. I have been priced out so many times, and then by the time we were ready to make an offer, it kind of seemed like, oh wait, we need to slow down a little. We're not quite ready. Oh, it's been a freaking roller coaster. Just a roller coaster. Everybody here wants to close in like 10 days and you're like, what lender will close in 10 days? None. None lender. That's who. None lender. Like if it was just a normal like 30-day close, I feel like it would be fine. I just feel like we're getting rushed and I absolutely hate that feeling. It just feels like you're being bullied and it's like, ugh, what? When that never felt good. All right, I'm taking the Milk and Cookie shade on the lower lash line just to like buff that dark brown in. You guys, I literally took every matte for this look. I'm not hating it. I am not hating it at all. I feel like I had to really trust the process with this and it may not even like come out that great. I don't mind it. I think it's good. It's really deep, dark look today. I really love this Milk and Cookie shade. It's like a diffusing shade. I have to go in with a little more silver on this side. Just doesn't match the other side. Why do I never feel like I can get my inner corner highlight to match each other? It's annoying. You guys, this eyeshadow is gonna bleed all over today. Okay, it's just gonna like, woo, sink down. All right, I'm gonna take my Beauty Bay High Key Mascara for the lower lashes. It looks like nighttime outside. It's 10:52 in the morning, okay? It's almost lunchtime. I'm actually gonna take that brown shade to like set this liner that I use. Oh, you're a dick. And hopefully it's like doesn't budge, you know, or smudge or creeping. Oh, you son of a bitch. I guess I could just use this. Okay, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I don't think it's exactly what I thought it was gonna turn out to be. I guess I really didn't love that green shade. I love greens, but I feel like I don't love greens in practice. There's just something about like the tonal changes, the way that they like take over a particular look. I don't know. I always love greens more in theory than I do in actual application. I have a hot mess up here. And by the way, and I didn't say this, I used the Iris Natural Volume from House of Lashes and Sephora collaboration. This is not natural volume at all. These are like crazy super long, and I even feel like this one is like longer than this one. I don't know why they're sitting on my eyes a little bit differently, but the shape of them is like perfectly oval, so they definitely go on very nicely. Anyway, it's not about the lashes, is it? Sometimes I just deal with this left eye looking more droopy with lashes on than the right eye. Like, why did these lashes look... One of my eyes must like stick out farther than the other. Like, what? I don't even know. Anyway, let's talk about the quality of the palette. I think the shimmers are really good. Again, I don't think they pick up really well wet. I think they pick up great with, like, you know, the oils of your fingers, like with just a dry finger or even a dry brush. They're all the same formula, so it's really just kind of about like the shade, I think. Here, I don't think that when I use this in the middle, this green one in Gifts Galore, you got much of the shifty duochrome. Like, you definitely didn't see a ton of the brown base. At least that's how it appeared to me. It would be really nice if I could just use this like all over, and I probably will. I'll try it with like the brown in the outer corner and just using that shade all over the lid, you know? This came out a little bit more pink than I was anticipating. It's just because it's like, it's kind of a harder pressed, like desaturated shade, and I think that's kind of how it works. When I swatch it, it seems really good, but then when I like get it to my eyes, like look how much more pink it came out, like in actual application. I don't know. I don't think it held as much pigment. When I started diffusing it out, the green took over a little bit. I liked the blendability. Like, overall, I liked this, but I have to say, I would have just been pleased with the Vintage Rose palette. I don't think I needed this particular color story in my collection now that I have, look at this red shade. From just watching it got crazy. I have silvers that I really, really love, and I don't think that I needed this. I don't think it added to my collection really any. I liked the look. You could probably do a ton of different things like better and very different than what I did. I still think you could even do neutral here. Honestly, Give Me Glow, I just keep going for them for the shimmer formula. It's not even always like the color story, it's more of the texture of the shimmers, how beautiful I think the shimmer formulas are, and also that these are really long lasting matte shades too. Like, there's nothing necessarily wrong with the quality of the mattes, just the nuances with a little bit more pigmented or the tone changes when it gets to the eye, that sort of thing. I hope you guys enjoyed. As you guys know, I am working through all of my indie brand shadows, so if there are any palettes that you see me haul in any of my other haul videos, like, let me know if you'd like to see a particular look in a particular way with any one of the palettes that you guys have seen that I haven't already done. Yes, just leave it in the comments. I'd be happy to do it. I'm trying to target the palettes that are a little bit older, or I feel like they're on sale currently and they're something that I really like, a formula that maybe I've tried from the brand before, even though I obviously haven't tried the palette. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I feel like this was a little bit of a grungier look today. I still didn't hate it. Is it giving Christmas though? Is it giving Christmas morning? I don't know. I don't know. It's giving like Christmas evening, you know? Anyway, if you guys aren't currently subscribed, I'd love to see you subscribe. I'm out of here, and I hope to catch you all in my next video. Bye guys.